let's be real for a second. Personal finance can feel totally overwhelming, right? It's this world of acronyms and complicated advice that can honestly just make you want to ignore it all. But what if you had a clear step-by-step plan? Well, that's exactly what we're going to build right now, a solid financial foundation, one simple idea at a time.
So here's how we're going to tackle this. We're going to think about our finances just like building a house. First, we've got to lay the groundwork. That's all about understanding our relationship with money. Then, we'll drop the blueprint with a budget and some real goals. After that, we pour the foundation, which is our safety net. Then, we start building up, tackling debt and investing. And finally, we'll put the roof on to protect everything for the long haul.
Okay, let's jump right into Section 1, the groundwork. Before you can build anything solid, you have to understand the terrain you're building on. And for a lot of us, that terrain is frankly filled with stress and anxiety about money.
It's the big question, isn't it? Why does something that's really just numbers often feel so personal and so difficult? Well, turns out you are definitely not alone, and there are some very, very common reasons for this feeling.
And when you look at these reasons, it all starts to make sense. I mean, most of us never had a class on this stuff in school. We make emotional decisions. Stress shopping, anyone? We feel that social pressure to keep up with what everyone else is doing online. And because it all feels so huge, we just put it off. Just recognizing these patterns is the absolute first step to breaking them.
All right, enough about the problem. Let's start actually building the solution. It's time for Section 2, the blueprint. This is where we stop just reacting to our finances and start designing the financial life we actually want to live.
First things first, we have to totally reframe the word budget. A budget is not some kind of financial diet that's designed to make you miserable. No, think of it as a roadmap. It's a tool that gives you power and control by showing you exactly how to get from where you are today to where you really want to go.
So how do you actually make this roadmap? Well, a fantastic place to start is the 50-30-20 rule. It's a really simple but powerful framework. You just take your after-tax income and split it up. 50% for your absolute needs, we're talking rent, groceries. 30% for your wants, like going out to eat or entertainment. And then a super important 20% goes straight to savings and paying down debt. And this is where the magic happens. By giving every single dollar a job, whether it's a need, a want, or for savings, you stop wondering where your money disappeared to. Why? Because you're the one telling it exactly where to go. That clarity, that's the key to taking control.
So your budget is the roadmap, but what's the destination? Vague goals like, I want to save more money, they just don't work. You need SMART goals. Is your goal specific? Is it measurable? Achievable? Is it actually relevant to your life? And is it time-bound? See, save $5,000 for a down payment on a car by December of next year? Now that is a real goal you can actually work towards.
With our blueprint drafted, we are ready for Section 3. It is time to pour the foundation. And I'm not kidding, this is the single most important step in building a stable financial house. It's what protects everything else from falling apart when life, throws a storm your way. This foundation, it's your emergency fund. We're talking about 3 to 6 months worth of your essential living expenses, just your needs, tucked away in a separate savings account. And listen, this isn't an investment, it's insurance. It's the money that keeps a surprise car repair or a medical bill from turning into a full-blown credit card disaster.
But how do you actually build this fund when you've got bills piling up? You use the pay-yourself-first principle. It's a game changer. Before you pay your rent, before you buy groceries, the very first bill you pay every single month is to your future self. Automate it. Set up a transfer to your savings account for the day you get paid. That way, you're building your foundation without even having to think about it.
Foundation is secure? Awesome. Now we can start putting up the walls and raising the roof beams. Let's get into Section 4, where we're going to tackle debt and start putting our money to work through investing.
Okay, when it comes to that high-interest debt, there are two main game plans. The debt avalanche method is the best one mathematically. You attack the debt with the highest interest rate first, and that saves you the most money. But the debt snowball is psychologically really powerful. You pay off your smallest debts first, which gives you these quick wins that build momentum. Honestly, the best plan is the one you'll actually stick with. Now, as you manage your debt, you're also building your credit score. And it's not as mysterious as it might seem. Get this. Your payment history and the amount of debt you have, those two things alone make up a whopping 65% of your score. That means that simply paying your bills on time, every single time, is the most powerful thing you can do for your financial health.
And why should you even care about that score? Well, it all comes down to cold, hard cash. On the exact same $5,000 car loan,
Having a good credit score can save you over $250 in interest compared to a poor one. That's real money that stays right there in your pocket, all because you managed your credit well. All right, now for the fun part, growing your wealth. The secret sauce here is something called compound interest, which is basically just your interest earning its own interest over and over again. And the most powerful fuel for compounding isn't how much money you have, it's how much time you have.
Okay, this is where it gets absolutely wild. Check this out. Investor A invests for just 7 years, early on, and then stops completely. Investor B starts later but invests for almost twice as long and puts in way more money. So what happens? By age 40, Investor A, the one who just let time and compounding do all the heavy lifting, ends up with far more money. It's proof that when you start can literally matter more than how much you invest.
So, we've laid the groundwork, we've drafted the blueprint, we poured the foundation, and we built the structure. Now for the final step, Section 5, the roof. This is all about protecting your financial house and everything in it for the long term. Look, this stuff might not be fun to think about, but it is so critical. A will tells everyone who gets your assets. A power of attorney lets someone you trust make decisions for you if you can't. These documents protect you and your loved ones from huge legal headaches and make sure your wishes are honored. Think of it as the ultimate act of getting organized that gives both you and your family true peace of mind. And finally, protecting your future self means getting serious about retirement. If your job offers a 401k with a company match, you need to contribute at least enough to get the full match. It is the closest thing to free money you will ever find in your life, and it's a massive shortcut for your retirement savings. Don't leave it on the table.
So, after all this, what's the one thing to remember? It's that building financial security isn't about making one giant move. It's not about being perfect. It's about taking small, consistent, and smart steps day after day. That is how you build a financial house that can truly withstand any storm.
So you have the framework now. The question is, what are you going to do with it? Are you going to start tracking your spending tonight? Maybe calculate your 50-30-20 numbers? Or set up that first automated transfer to savings? Just think about it. What's the very first line you're going to draw on the blueprint for your own financial future?